At 15 years old, when I was just starting my self-improvement, I was literally so cooked that I couldn't even wash my own plate after eating food without having to watch YouTube or TikTok on the side. It got to the point where not only did I bring TikTok to the bathroom, I would also be watching it as I'm literally taking clothes on and brushing my teeth. And it was only a year later when I discovered the analog Nokia method that I was able to get my screen time as low sometimes as 30 minutes every day. I also got consistent in the gym for 2 years, doing 11 good habits daily and actually enjoying my life again. And if you watch until the end of this video, you'll have the exact system that will take you from scrolling 10 hours a day to sometimes as low as 30 minutes. So, first of all, let me tell you my struggle and why you also struggle with scrolling. So bro, I was to the point, I already told you about some of it, but I couldn't even wait 5 minutes without having to scroll my phone. So if we were like going to a doctor's appointment or, you know, the fucking dental clinic, right? If there was like a moment, I'd just bring out my phone and start scrolling. Literally, my brain was so hooked and wanted so much dopamine. I couldn't even sit for like 5 minutes. I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's watch TikTok, right? And suddenly I've realised over the years why it is that we do this. Because not only was I addicted at this point, but our brain often resorts to doing the easiest things. That's exactly why we scroll, because our brain wants to do the easier thing. Why does it need to go work out when it can get more stimulation easier by just doing this on a phone and watching with his eyes? It's actually very simple when you think about this. But the reason why we're addicted is because our brain chooses to do the easiest thing that it can find. And then the other thing is obviously that when you build up like a tolerance to it, TikTok doesn't even feel that good anymore. So to just get like a little kick from it, you need to have constant stimulation. So that also builds up over time. So let me tell you the Nokia method that I used to make my phone basically into an old ass fucking phone that only works for me when I need it, and my phone doesn't need me and it's plinging all over the place and oh yeah, go watch TikTok, Laura. It's like fucking... So first of all, I used 3 apps to help lower my screen time. Now the first one is called Burnout Buddy. I can't show it on my phone because obviously I'm recording with it, but what it is basically an app where you can create a schedule for when certain apps are blocked. So for example, right now it's like 6 in the morning. I've been recording since 5 AM this morning, and I have had Discord, school, and my mail and also Snapchat blocked on my phone this entire morning so that I didn't go on it. And it's basically a schedule. So for me, it's like every day when it comes like 8 PM, all of this turns off, and then it only turns on again at like, I don't know, I think it's like 7:30 or something. So it's a very good way to make sure that I don't use my phone at those times where I want to keep my phone away. And it also creates friction because if I try to go on the app, the app literally tells me like, oh yeah, just go and get some fresh air instead. Like literally, it's so good. And then another app that complements that so well is an app called ScreenSend. And this app, basically what it does is that every time when I'm allowed to go on my phone, it pulls up like a little reminder. It's like before I go on Snapchat, it tells me like, are you a gooner? And it asks me that, and I have to click a button to access the app, and then I only have like 10 users a day. And it's really smart because it creates that friction, because let's be honest, bro, sometimes we just go on our phones, we're like randomly, like we haven't even thought about it, and then you open it and it says like, are you a gooner? And I'm like, shit bro, why did I do this? And you put it back in your pocket or, you know, put it away. And it's really fucking smart because now not only don't we use the phone at like certain times, we also aware every time. That's the thing, the reason why we keep scrolling. Often it's mindless. We need to become more aware, need to become more mindful, and this ScreenSend app helps it so much because you can just put those like blocks on every app to make sure that every time you do it, you'll be conscious of it at least. Now the last one is very, very cool actually. It does cost like, I think it's like $5 or something, but I think you can get a free version. I just bought the one because like $5, you know, it doesn't matter. It's literally to improve my life. Why won't you invest $5? But what it is an app called Dumbify, and it basically dumbifies your phone. So instead of having all the flashy icons when you open it, you literally just have a black screen with a few lines of white text. So you have like all the icons. I'll put up pictures on the screen so you can see, but you have like icons all over the place, like flashing in your face. I literally just have one that says, a white line that says Messages, WhatsApp, Medito, Notes, phone, you know, all these things, right? And what I also do is when you use this app, you also get to not really have all the like doom scroller apps like, you know, TikTok, Instagram, I would recommend you to delete them right now, but I'll get into that more later. But yeah, once you don't have them on your home screen, it's also less likely that you're just instantly gonna jump onto them. So these apps are not the entire system, but it's the easiest way to create more friction and make it harder for you to scroll. And yeah, a few other things that you can also do, which yeah, I also did, is you can put your phone on grayscale so it doesn't show any color, and you can turn off the notification, put it on do not disturb. And lastly, again, this, if you get the Domify app, it will remove things off your home screen. You can just choose them not to do. But what else I'd recommend, all the mindless doom scroller apps, just remove them off your homepage. Now, that was the nice solution that you wanted to hear, right? You wanted to hear the tactics, the tools, the apps. Now let me tell you the thing that will make you the most progress, and it's simply a routine. This is the boring answer, but if you actually want progress, this is what you'll need to do. Think about school. Every single day we have a timetable, a routine that we follow. It's the same things everybody knows. The first hour is English, then it's chemistry, then it's maths. Everybody knows this shit, right? And the reason why it's so powerful is because, again, it makes it easier to do those things because we always know what we have to do. I mentioned at the start of the video that our brain wants to do the easy things, and when it's confused about doing something, it always chooses the easy things. So this is the exact way that you make doing the things, like the harder things and the thing you wanted to do, because let's be honest, you clicked on this video because you wanted to remove 10 hours of scrolling and do something else. So now what you simply do is go on your iPhone, press notes. If you have an iPhone, doesn't matter, you get what I mean. Go on notes, make a timetable, and simply write down for every hour of the day what you're going to do. Make this your perfect day, the day that you actually want to live. And then once you've done that, literally just go ahead and try to follow it as best as possible. And think about it. Now it's much easier to do the hard things because it's already written out. It's written out exactly what time you have to do it and what you have to do. So you don't even need to think about it. And now suddenly it becomes so easy to do the hard thing because you don't need to think about, oh yeah, should I meditate now? And then you don't scroll because you already know what to do. So there's a bigger chance that you choose to do the hard thing instead of scrolling because you know when and what to do. And bro, if you want to get even more advanced knowledge on this and literally like a day by day, step by step protocol on self-improvement, I'm literally developing that right now, and you can get more information on it if you join my free Discord Brotherhood. I can't tell you too much now, but it's going to be crazy when I drop it. And one last thing is, when you're just starting out, I'd say give yourself 1 or 2 hours of stimulation daily. So don't just try and quit cold turkey if you've been doing 10 hours a day. Leave 1 or 2 hours at the, this is very important, at the end of the day to scroll, because if you do it at the start of the day, your brain will crave more for the rest of the day. It'll get used to that baseline. But if you do it at the end of the day, then you're going to sleep right after, so you know, and then it resets the day after. So yeah, save 1 or 2 hours for your favorite scrolling app, and just keep that stimulation, and so slowly over time you can lower it down to get to basically nothing. Now this was like the main part, but there is one more thing that I did which really assists this and makes sure that we scroll less and that we set up our day for success. Because I don't know if you've heard this quote, but there is a quote that says, if you want to win the year, you have to win the month. If you want to win the month, you have to win the week. If you want to win the week, you have to win the day. And if you want to win the day, you have to win the morning. So if you win the morning, then you win the year. And that's exactly why I implemented this morning routine, to completely destroy scrolling from my life. Because until now we've only talked about limiting screen time, but this morning routine will literally reverse the effects that scrolling had on you. Think of your ancestors. They would probably wake up peacefully. They wouldn't be bombarded with messages and people shouting at them and fucking, you know, obviously they didn't have phone, but imagine like they'd just be woken up to people talking about, oh yeah, this guy got killed, and fucking a gore video and all this shit, right? They woke up peacefully. So if you want to have the results of your ancestors, if you want to live a peaceful and better life, then you must not check your phone first thing in the morning, and instead do these habits which I'm going to tell you now. So this morning routine is what you can put onto your timetable, the routine that you made in the last part. Basically what you're going to do is, when you wake up, you can go take a piss, and then you go in and you gratitude journal. And if you don't know what this is, it's basically on a piece of paper you write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for every morning. And the reason why we do it exactly when we wake up is because it gives us a level of feeling good in the morning. You know, the peaceful feeling that our ancestors had. We can get the exact same thing, because Gratitude is the opposite of anxiety. It gives us happiness, peace, and like a warm feeling inside. And if we can start to associate waking up with this, it feels way better than scrolling, because you're grateful every morning when you're waking up. So that is the first habit to put onto your routine immediately when you wake up. Then what you do afterwards is that you meditate. And not only is this training ourselves to sit there in silence with our own thoughts, but it more so trains us to become more in the present moment. Basically, meditation is a training where you train yourself to revert back to the present moment. And that's exactly why we scroll. It's because we're not mindful. It's because we're not in the present moment. We do it mindlessly. But if you're more aware, if you're more mindful, then you're less likely to scroll because you'll think about it. You won't pull out your phone mindlessly. You'll be like, oh shit, I pulled out my phone, and you put it back in your pocket. Now the last thing that our ancestors did, just to get some real natural dopamine, is to go outside. Even if there's no sun, just look up into the sky, enjoy your garden. If you don't want to go to the forest, you can just go into your garden, look at the nice, beautiful leaves, the grass, everything, and yeah, look up into the sky. And it's just a really nice, warm, natural feeling. Like you feel like you're a real human because you're doing what our ancestors used to do. They were present, they were grateful, they were literally outside. And if you want the results of them, if you want to live a anxious fucking doom scroller life, you're gonna have to do the same things that they did, because they weren't like doom scrollers, right? That was literally the entire method that I wanted to show you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, if you want to get more info on the thing I'm going to drop soon, you can go into the Discord Brotherhood and join that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's it. Put one foot in front of the other.